What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in Italy. It's the F1 cars this time, and I am so pleased to announce to you my co-commentator. I'm Ben Raggy McConnell, but joining me is Jamie. I'm Casa Elder. I haven't said that in so long, and I have missed it.
Hey, assuming you have. It's not been that long. It's been a couple of weeks.
It's long enough for me. But the driver standings.
Oh, no,
I haven't. How are you? Are you well?
I'm not too shabby. How are you?
I'm not too shabby indeed. The driver standings real quick. We'll talk about the top three. So Hypers, Nicholas, and Infamous. The gap has been knocked down slightly due to Nicholas's win last week, but Hypers did still score quite well, obviously, when his penalty was removed. So he does still keep the gap a relatively good distance, whereas Nicholas is going to be looking to knock that down a bit today. Now, we've seen his performance in the past when it's come to this circuit, so he has had a chance to really show what he can do. But now you've got to be worried if you're Hypers, but also if you're Mercedes, because as the constructors looks, it's Mercedes on the top step with 286, Haas in second with 228, and Racing Point in third with 216. Renault a bit further away, they're on 169. Toro Rosso in fifth with 142, and then Alfa, Ferrari, etc., etc. Now we know it's getting tight, but it's about to get even tighter. This circuit here, it's 11 turns, 3.5 miles. It is literally majority of it spent full throttle. There are two DRS zones, lots of overtaking opportunities, and we're about to see just how hard it can be with the eSport Works hotspots. Here we go then. So turns 4 or 5. This was season 3 with Mizzo and Beaker when it was pretty wet, as you can see on the circuit. Mizzo's trying to take the inside line towards turn 4, and he's trying to hold it through. He does exactly that, but he has to take the curb just a bit too wide, and Beaker's alongside of him, loses the car a little bit, goes into the side of Beaker, and again losing even more of the car, and they both fall further down. Now you've got Ascari, where it was Gooby and Bird, but we've actually missed that because we're going straight to the hot lap. So this is Yonti, as per usual, on the home straight with the DRS wing wide open. You brake just after the 150 meter board, get right down the gears, cut the inside curb a little bit, not too much. Make sure you get the exit just right through turn 2, because turn 3 is a flat out long right-hander. You must keep that accelerator pinned throughout, and if you really want to accelerate a bit faster, then go into mode 4, but you don't want to do that when it comes to your hot lap. Just sit in mode 5 throughout. Brake just after the board ends on the right hand side, get through the gears for turn 4 and 5, and then get the exit just right again. You lead up now towards the Lesbo. You want to brake just after the 50 meter board, probably go down to about gear 4 if you're not feeling like you've not got the right turn in, ride the curb on the exit, and then again take the curb just after the 50 meter board you want to turn in, clip the inside, and get the exit perfect, because this is the second DRS straight. This is another opportunity to overtake as you come in towards Ascari. You know, the opportunity of lines is very important here. You can take the inside if you want a tight line and force your opponent off, but you need to make sure you get it right. As the exit again here is super important through Ascari, but very difficult to get just right. You want to accelerate as soon as you can, but if you do and hit the inside curb or the outside curbs, you're dead. Let's be honest. There's no way to survive that. Brake hard in towards Ascari then. Get yourself down to about gear 5, and if you ride the exit just right, maximize the exit speed, because this is the longest area of the circuit and easily the most opportunistic place for overtakes. But we are now going into the actual race itself. We have seen sometimes get on the board as Camille's chucked in a 118.446. Pressionator's in P2 with a 118.596. And I'm Casa. I'm doing it to you. You are not getting any special treatment. What's your top 3 prediction for the end of qualifying?
I'd be worried if you gave me some special treatment. Don't know what I've done to get that. Top 3 prediction. It's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? Do you look at Hypers and think he's going to boss it today? Or are you going to look at Crow and think he likes this track? I think pretty much everyone here remembers him in the official esports, where he picked up a podium on his first and only race so far.
Oh.
He puts in a time like that. Can you look anywhere other than him?
Oh.
I think you've got to be looking at him to take the pole position. I think Hypers potentially, if he doesn't keep invalidating like he's done already, could take that second place, and Camille will be third.
Yeah, very much so. I think Hypers is actually coming to the line, but this is an in-lap. Geturned is on a hot lap. He's going to cross the line and go P6. It's a 118.889. Now, the times are a little bit spread out as it stands, but obviously bear in mind we still have 13 minutes left to go, and we are nowhere near seeing a lot of the times that we're going to see as we get towards the end of it. I think we're going to be seeing some mid 117s, high sort of 17s. I was talking to Nicholas earlier. I just asked him before this race. All I said to him was, "You getting P1 in quali?" And he said, "Dude, there's no way I'm getting P1 in quali." He says, I can't do a 17.7 here today. So it's an indicator of how fast he can be. And I think with a little bit of luck and a lot of toe, he might actually make it. But somebody else who actually has been benefiting from toes has been Yalta. Him and his teammate Brownie have worked together quite hard on this circuit to try and capitalize as much space as possible. Yalta now coming to the finish line. He might actually be able to chuck in a low 118, but it's a 118.7. Still pretty respectable.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Crow's time thinking, he's done that on the first run. How is he not getting a 17.7 here today? And the theoretical best is already a 17.96. So, and that is after not everyone's done their first run. So we still need to see Hyper's put in a time. He could quite easily beat that. I can't see how he thinks that. I think he's playing his usual mind games with you. I know he lives rent-free in that head of yours. He does, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I think he has... I think he likes to try and make out like he's some sort of underdog. Because he's always on such a high pedestal, I guess I put him up there, to be honest. I like to apply pressure to him to sort of just see how he handles it. I mean, quite well is the answer, isn't it? Look at it. He's currently set at 118.017 with the hopes of potentially breaking it. I want to see if he can get that with 17.7. If he can, phenomenal. But, you know, he's already set the expectation he's not going to make it. Then? So my top three...
Racing Point 1-2?
Not 1-2. I think it's going to be a Racing Point top 3. I think Nicholas will actually still get pole position. I think Hypers will be very close on the back of him. But, I mean, it depends, really, actually, having said that. It depends how much the Racing Point guys are actually going to work together or whether the Mercedes guys are going to do that. Now, I know that Hypers and Get On are trying to go for being the best team ever to have ever graced any racing league ever. So, you know, definitely count them in to do the toes. But...
Well, we should keep an eye on that, actually, because Hypers is coming around to start a lap. He's just going through a scar at the moment. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that Mercedes garage. And yes, Gound is on his way out as Hypers is coming towards the Parabolica. So they could be trying something. He's left it a little late to go out and do it, but...
Yeah, I'm just wondering where he's going to do it, if he's going to do it at all. It's a very strange place to try to do it. But, well, here comes Hypers to start his hot lap. We have a Haas driver behind him as well, which is Infamous, also on an out lap. And we also have a Red Bull chasing him down too, which is Beaker, also on an out lap. Also, biggest shout out to Safso, who's filling in for the Ferrari driver, Pampernick, who Pampernick has actually shown a mass amount of skill in his pace. Are they doing it?
No, they failed it. They've messed it up. If they were doing it, they've messed it up. So I think it's safe to say they're not.
Well, that's bad news bears for Hypers. Well, yep, bad news bears for Hypers. Sorry, go on.
I'll keep you updated on the sectors and see what we get. We're looking for better than a 25.4 for the opening sector. And Hypers is not registered on my screen, so I can't help you with that one.
Oh, well. Thanks for the trying anway. Well, the Williams boys are actually working together. Just chilling and Copy. We've given each other... Well, I don't know if he was necessarily working with him, because Copy is on an out lap, according to my screen on the left-hand side, and Just Chilling's already done a lap, and he's not on one. And Copy's weaving, so he's definitely not going for a hot lap.
Keep
but there is...
your eyes on Infamous.
Okay. He's coming through Parabolica. Let's see if he's got the time. You're saying he can do it. He is very fast.
He can do it. I know you must invalidate. No, he's not. Ignore me.
Oh, 118.082. So yeah, you were right to say watch out for him. He's coming. But look how many cars are coming across the line all in one go. Where's Yonti? He's just crossed the line to start a hot lap. We've got a Ferrari driver coming to the line as well. That's Safso. And also his teammate Danico is just starting a hot lap. They're probably going to give each other a tow as well. Where's Preschneider? He's in the pits. That was Boemel's coming to the line then. Tom97, where are you, sir? He's coming up to start a hot lap. Zone's also doing the same. Oh, actually, Zone's is in.
Yeah, Hyper's putting a lap during all that. He's now P3, 18 point, just shy of 18.2. Nothing special from him in all honesty on that one. Infamous kind of surprised us. He did the fastest second sector of anyone, which gives us so far a session best, a theoretical session best of 17.88. So we're getting closer to that 17.7. Will someone put up one of those? I wouldn't be surprised to see if they do.
So Samidia is next to come to the line then. He is a very quick driver indeed. 119.056 is where he's currently sat, which these times just blow my mind. I mean, I struggle to get into the 119s as a whole. If I get a 119.9, I'm happy. These guys are chucking 118s in like they're nothing. Yeah, that's crazy speeds. Here comes a Mercedes driver. That will be Get On. He's going to finish his lap as well. He is half a tenth up, but it is only going to move him up to P10 for now. So keep an eye out to see if he can improve. We got a Red Bull coming into the pits. We got another Red Bull, I believe, also coming into the pits. Yes, it is. We got a Haas driver crossing. That is Yonti, who's done a 118.610 earlier. And we have another Ferrari coming. I think that's them going into the pits. Yeah.
18.972 for him. P14. As it stands, nothing magical from him, but a long way to go, really. Just shy of 7 minutes, so we're almost at that car, but they could potentially go out for a quick try if they are in the pits at the moment, I think.
Yep, Buemo's coming to the line as well then. He has got pace in him and he jumps up to P6, a 118.600. Yota is behind him as well. He's starting a hot lap, so they're going to be giving the tow again. This is very much the Renault way, it seems, to be giving each other that tow.
By the way, not Brownie.
Did I? My apologies, I meant Brownie.
Yes.
I think Hypers is... Oh no, Get On is on his way in, that's it.
Yeah, looks like Brownie is deploying a bit of a tow here for Yelta. Let's go through the curve. Granted, a long right-hander, turn 3. Is he going to get out of the way? Yes, he is. Is he going to do the thing we don't like to see? No. He's not. So he's respecting the track limits. Unlike another league on Thursday. Not for him, other people.
I don't know what you're referring to.
It wasn't you, though, so it's fun.
No, I know exactly what you're on about, though. it was a good one. I mean, I personally enjoyed it, if I'm being honest. I think, you know, it adds to the racing. It does add to tactics and stuff.
I think
but you're right, it's
I
dangerous.
hate seeing that.
Yeah, they do.
Schneider coming through a scurry at the moment, attacking those curbs. Ooh, nearly attacked it a little bit too much. Just lost that back end a little bit, but he's kept it going, facing the right way. Coming up to the parabolic, and now he's looking to get something in the low 18s. He's not going to get into the 17s, I can tell you that now. Unless he pulls off a magical final sector. And he's in both zeros, he's in the pits.
Yalta did come across the line. He's actually jumped up to P5 then, a 118.517. Now it's 3/10 separating P4 and P5, and Preschneider is in P6, just less than a tenth between him and Yalta. Oh, we're at that time. Yes, I can say it. It's the calm before the storm, as all the drivers, or at least majority of them, are in the pits, prepping themselves for that final push. Obviously, everybody's going to be qualifying on softs. There is no doubt about that, as a softs and medium strategy is absolutely key here. So keep an eye out for anybody who may start on the mediums in the race, because when it comes to the end of the race, that is when things are about to get super spicy.
Oh yes, that's what we like to see. And so the racing points are out there doing a little bit of tow. On my screen, they are both on outlap. So
yeah, same. I mean, Camille, I think, has already done an outlap, so I think this is actually a hot lap, believe it or not.
Feels like a hot lap, doesn't it?
It was a 117.962. The bar has been raised, and now the other Racing Point driver is getting the tow. And Camille's following him through on the race line as well, so perfect stuff. This is about to be a big lap time from the Racing Points. I think you might have been right when you said, you know, whether or not I was expecting there to be a Racing Point 1-2. They might actually get it. Hypers is not, I mean, we're literally talking a tenth, but still, yeah. Hypers is not looking like that close, you know what I mean? A tenth is a whole heap of difference when it comes to these races.
Okay, so far Crow has gone purple, sector 1, 25.335. Camille's was 25.525. The theoretical session best so far is before that sector was a 17.725. Theoretical
he might do it.
Could get a 17.6 here. Oh,
he's so fast. He's so fast. He's going for it. He's going to get this. He said, I'm not going to get the 117.7. If he gets a 117.7, I am not going to let him live this down. Every time I ask him if he's getting P1, he's going to get abused. Oh, I thought he was going to lose the rear there, but he's actually kept that very much under control. Here it comes then. Oh, it's a 117.8. Ah, he could have just done a 10th there. He's like he lifted. I am so sad, but I'm very impressed and pleased at the same time. Hyper's not getting the toe. Oh, he will get the toe from his teammate, but he's not going to get it just yet.
Infamous just had a little toe from his teammate. Yonti's on an outlap. And Infamous is looking to get that 7. He is after it, but he's already 2/10 off Crow's time. 2 whole tenths already after 1 sector.
That's crazy.
He needs to find so much. Session best is almost in the 1760s, by the way. That's how fast everyone's been.
I mean, it just shows that the toe actually makes a massive difference. Like, you know, that one bit of toe there from Nicholas and Camille seemed to be so much better than the one that the Haas boys got. But it still just demonstrates the pace that can be chucked down here. But Infamous is coming to the final corner. Is this going to be close to pole? It's not going to be pole from what?
It's not an improvement. Not an improvement.
Oh, really? No, it's not. Wow. And that was pretty much his last run. Like, he can't get in the pits and back out again in time. The only thing he can do now is sort of charge himself up for another hot lap. But then he runs the risk of having a lap extra tyres that are done in, and Hypers is also not going to improve as well. He will cross P4, and he's in the same boat as Infamous. We might actually see a Racing Point 1-2 here, unless somebody can chuck them down. I'm looking at the likes of Preschneider. He might be able to do it. Zones has also been pretty quick, and even Brownie. In fact, if you remember back into France, Brownie actually managed to secure P2 in the qualifying. So this doesn't spell disaster at all for anyone else. There is a chance for these guys to break it, but in order for Brownie or Preschneider to do it, they need to gain a whole second. Like, that's crazy to think about. Oh, a bit of lag there.
Brownie's messed up.
I think he got lagged a little bit.
Time.
Yeah.
He's gone on. That is the end of his qualifying, effectively. He would have been validated with that mistake. Big mistake.
Yeah,
my money was moving towards one of those two to get that 3rd position, but not anymore.
Right. Safso coming to the line then. He is faster, albeit only by about 600ths of a second. It does jump him, though. He gained a lot there. 2.5 tenths. Straight up to P11. He's getting the best of the rest of the world. This is looking really good for Safso.
Yonti's backed out. He's in the pits. He's had enough of his lap. Preschneider then. Where's he? Second of Lesmo's. Yonti's had enough. So we've got loads of people coming around these final few corners now.
Yeah.
I don't see much movement though. That's the question.
Gavin is in the pits. He's had enough. Where is Bwemmels? Bwemmels is coming to the line then. He can't improve. He does by 8 thousandths, and that's it. So keep an eye on the balls on the left-hand side. As everybody's coming to the line now, things are going to start to hot up a little bit. Janab's just started a hot lap with literally 2 seconds to go as he came to the line. It's Preschneider then that we've got our eyes on. He's 2 tenths up, but right now that's not going to be anywhere near enough. He'll jump to P5, don't get me wrong, there it is. But that's not enough to be able to break these guys in the top 2. And it's kind of, if you're taking this as the clear indicators to how this is going to go down, it looks like the Racing Point boys are just going to run away with this. And just think about the constructors' difference that's going to make. If them two get a 1-2, boom, they're right there next to Mercedes immediately. That's so good for them if they can pull it off. Qualifying is one thing, race is another, and Italy Turn 1 has proven time and time again that disasters can happen.
We'll have a look at where the second Mercedes is. He's down in 15th place.
Oh, Camille's faster. Camille's faster. He's going to get pole. He is! A 1:17.854. Camille. He raises the bar now. I don't think anyone's even going to be able to get anywhere near this. Here comes Dennis to the line. Then he's actually slightly slower, although he does improve, actually, suddenly by a 10th. So he's P13. And I think there's only Yelta left to do a line. And he's invalidated, so his race is over, which means qualifying is done. Camille will start on pole. Nicholas will start on second. And Infamous will start in 3rd place.
How often will you hear we've got a 1-2 for Racing Point?
Never. Literally never.
Ever hear that. Even if one of their teams they become many years down the line after they've had their 7th name change in a year. That's how it's going this rate. Will they have a pole position? Or at least a 1-2. They may get a pole. I can't see them ever getting a 1-2.
Well, they've got it virtually, and it's Camille and Nicholas that have managed to make that happen. So, in terms of the gap, they were 2 tenths almost. And no, it is 2 tenths, actually, ahead of Infamous. So, Infamous, whilst he is fast, don't get me wrong, the Racing Point boys just looked like they were on a whole different level. Whether that's setup, whether that's just the toe working better or whether it's down to their driver skill or maybe even a combination of all of the above. It doesn't matter. They are still up in 1-2. Haas are in P3 and Hypers in P4. It's Camille, Nicholas, Infamous, Hypers, you 1, 2, 3, 4. Pressionide in P5, Summity at P6, Yolta P7, Zones P8, Brownie P9, Yonti rounds out the top 10 with Safzo getting best of the rest. Yenab in P12, Dennis P13, Copy P14, Geton P15, Just Chillin' P16, and the point where we break the 1 second margin is Danny in P17, Beaker P18, Buemos P19, and Tom getting P20. But look at the times. It's all so close. Like, that's literally bordering DRS territory, even if you count the P20. Like, it's so marginal. I actually can't wait for this race.
Yeah, the start is going to be insane. How well can these race points get off the line? It's going to be so crucial because they're going to be giving everyone else a toe down to this first corner, especially their championship rivals. They don't want to give a toe, but they're going to have to. They have no choice in that. And is anyone going to be brave enough to take a cheeky dive down the inside? How many wings are we going to see lost on this start? This is one of the tracks where the concertina effect, that is the cars all having to slow down and go through it so slow, is so big. You think of all the other first corners. This is one of the slowest first corners on the calendar. You look at other ones like Spa, for example. How often can we see a crash first corner there? Nearly every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is the next one on my list of corners that can cause crashes at the start of races. I can't think of many others that are this slow from particularly a long straight like this.
Yeah, not after. I mean, Mexico maybe. Mexico's a long straight, but it has got quite an open turn one as well. I mean, the thing Monza has is a very tight turn one. Like, the track width is really quite narrow, whereas in Mexico, obviously, the runoff is quite large. I mean, despite that, I mean, look at F1. I think it was last year where Hamilton and Verstappen, I believe it was, had a very close call between them. There was damage. They ended up having to go to the pits and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, even in those certain circumstances, we can see scraps happen, damage happen, and crashes happen. But you know, Monza Turn 1 is the place to watch when it comes to dives down the inside. But it's just such an awkward chicane. Like, you're not always in the benefit if you're on the inside for Turn 1. Because, yeah, you might get the priority through Turn 1. But the Turn 2 priority lies on the inside driver for the next one. So it's like, you just got to get the better exit. That's all it is. The better entry, the better exit. That's all it comes down to every single time.
I'd say this is probably definitely the worst opening corner complex. By opening corner, I don't just mean the first corner, I mean 1, 2 combined.
Yeah.
You think of other bad corners to start with. You got Monaco, obviously, because there's walls, but people know you make a mistake there, you're out of the race. So they can take it so carefully. Here, it's a completely different kettle of fish. There's so much space off track to go. If you lock up, you'll see someone locking up in front of you, just I'll ease off a little bit. Monaco, you don't have a choice. You're going into that corner whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You're going to have a crash whether you like it or not. This is, of the tracks in the entire, since I've been watching F1, Monza's always been one of my favourites. It's probably because it's just sheer speed. It is the temple of speed. It is the fastest ever F1 lap. Beaten last year. Obviously, this year doesn't really count. This, well, 2019 race. Let's not count that one. That's a blip. But this is quick, and we are going to see quick here today.
1, 2, 3, quick go.
Crow, Camille, Presnida. I'm going for a little Presnida, a little boost here.
All right, I'm going Camille, Nicholas, Infamous. I'm going as is.
Oh,
just to add some spice to the works. But here we go then. The drivers are now in their boxes and the lights will come on in just a second. There it is. So it's racing point 1, 2. Are they going to be able to lock out everybody on the grid when the lights go out? It's go time here in Italy, and I think Camille's got a really solid exit. It's usually Nicholas that has the better run, but Infamous is right here. Look at this. Is he going to stick his car down the inside? He's trying to get into the sandwich, but there's nowhere to go. He might actually go for a move on Camille. Oh, there's big contact in the back of him. That's actually caused him to go very hard into the side of Camille, but no damage on Infamous's car. There's surely got to be damage further down.
It looks clean. From my point of view, it looked clean. I'm keeping my eyes on JC. The man I've chosen to watch the start of this race. He's up 3 places already and looking to size up Dennis. And there's movements all over the place. Is he going down the inside here into the second chicane? He's not. There's no room there for him. And it's cast the corner a little bit. And they are trying to go 3 wide towards the Lesmos as well as in front of him. Just outside the top 10, Safso is trying to get himself a point here. As, who was that? I think it's Yelta just running a little wide. What's happened to Hypers?
I don't know, he's fallen right down the order. He might be the one that's got the damage. Has he got wing damage? I can't see.
He's not giving the information to me, so I can't see immediately.
Let's see in a second. No, his wings are fine, yeah. So clearly something went wrong for him off the start. He dropped very hard off the beginning. He's down to P8 now, so he's going to have a massive recovery to get himself back in this race. And again, remember, this is a track where overtaking is easy, but not if you're stuck in the DRS train, which Preschneider looks like he may have just broken, actually. Because look at the gap, 1.2 seconds as it is. How accurate that is, I'm not 100% certain, but it does look pretty accurate if you look at the distance he's got to Infamous. Infamous, Camille, and Nicholas are your 3, 2, and then 1. I think the start for Nicholas was what dictated there, but Nicholas and, Hypers and Brownie, they're swapping places. Hypers is up to P7, Brownie falls down to P8. Dennis has actually had to take the runoff road there. He's trying to navigate through the boards and realised, I can't do that in this game, it doesn't quite work. But Dennis staying there behind Yenab now. He's lost places.
President has a big issue in front of him. It's the fact there's nothing in front of him.
Yeah.
They have started to walk away already, and this is only lap 2. He needs to catch up to the back of that pack if he wants a chance of being on this podium. Because those 3 are just going to race off into the sunset. He's going to be left there going, bugger, I've made a mistake here. Yes, okay, he's gained a place. Hypers is out of it for now. But Preschneider has a lot of work to do. He needs to burn that DRS. Because DRS is coming at the end of this lap.
So, something to note are the position changes. The biggest winner so far is just chilling. Like you mentioned earlier, he's up 4 places. The biggest loser so far is Hypers, who's down 3 places. Now, he's obviously got a lot more to lose, but Jesse's got a lot to gain. So we'll see who is the bigger winner and the bigger loser later. But right now, Hypers is in a real bad place right now. DRS has just now been enabled as Camille sets the new fastest lap at 1:21.667. Hypers is going for a move on zones here. He is very much a man on a mission, and his mission is to pass zones first and work his way closer to the back of some idiot.
Yeah, keep an eye on all the battles happening. Yonti and Yelta is having a little bit of action as well. It appears Yonti's up to P9 is Shizu 7-10 at the moment. Safso wants to say, I don't like Shizu, I want that position. Come here, Yelta.
Yeah.
He is on the charge.
Now, I want to look at ERS situations. Actually, what's happened to Nicholas? Wait, Nicholas has lost 2 places. I missed everything that happened there. Something went seriously wrong through turn 4-5, and he's lost 2 places as a result. I wish I'd caught that, or even got a replay of it, because that was a mega loss.
Yeah, he must have had a little wobble somewhere.
No damage.
Doesn't appear to have wing damage. But that mistake has helped Preschneider a little bit. He's now 1.4 seconds back. He needs to find 0.4 of a second on this straight, which is near impossible. But it's helped a little bit. It's going to boost his little self-esteem. Just to say, oh, hang on, they're just there. If I just up this a little bit, I can get there. But it's going to take a huge effort hauling himself and that car up to the back of that top 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, Hypers is looking for a move on some idiot. Very late break there from Hypers. He broke so late, and he ran so deep, he almost sent it into the back of Preschneider. This has actually allowed Zones to get involved in this action as well, so Zones is going to get past some idiot. And I think Hypers is in even more trouble, because that massive send through turn 1 will have damaged his tyres considerably. Zones is battling with Hypers rounding towards turn 4. I don't think Hypers can defend this anywhere near as much as he needs to, but he has actually got quite a good run through 4-5. Very well held there from Hypers, but a big mistake from him into turn 1.
Yep, and again, this is more action that it's actually helping Preschneider. Yes, okay, now he's 2 seconds off back of P3, but Hypers hasn't got DRS on him, so he's got a little bit of freedom now. He can focus on what's in front. Don't have to worry so much about what's behind. Up it, and you can get there, but
yeah,
it's not going to be easy for him.
So Zones is catching up to the back of Hypers here. I just seen the way that they take that Ascari. They cut that curb so hard. They must have got a warning, surely. But Zones is reeling Hypers in. He's charging his ERS as well. And they're about the same when it comes to...
The Zones has desynced slightly to Hypers, I believe. I just saw a bit of front wing fly off the car. Yes, 38%. front left gone off zones.
That's an end
It
plate.
didn't look like it hit Hypers, but maybe a connection issue for the Mercedes guy has caused that damage.
Oh no, I think it's Zerns as well because he just hit the back of some idiot and that just caused a mega rotation. But some idiot still managed to keep his wing intact, but that has now broken. That battle for P5, the gap is just too much. Zerns has dropped to 2.6. Some idiot now is in P7 and he's lucky to have got away with that without any damage. But it wasn't even his fault, he was a victim.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's a bit of delay on quite a lot of these drivers. I see, obviously some idiot is American, we can excuse him for having a slightly off connection at times, but whether or not did that cause the problem? Did Zones' connection cause a problem with him and Hypers? I mean, jury's out on everything here, we have no idea.
So, I've just heard from the stewards, the incident between Presschneider and Hypers that happened on lap 1 will be investigated after the race. We'll see where that pans out later. We won't see it in this recording. You'll have to stay tuned in the Discord if you want to see exactly what happens. But Tom and JC, they've just got penalties. CRG, Camille holding down the front right now, but surely Infamous is going to go for it. The ERS is in his favour, and he is very much going for this. Then race leader will switch to Infamous. But will Nicholas actually go for this as well? Yes, he is. So Camille will lose 2 places, and that will very much be team orders that came into effect there. Camille has actually burnt so much ERS, he's sat on 13% after the braking zones for turn 1 and turn 2. So he's now going to use this toe and use his teammate ahead to charge it up.
Yeah, behind that, Stones has got back past some idiot. Doesn't need a front wing to make low takes. He does it anyway. DRS is obviously such a huge factor here. Brownie went for a little cheeky dive on some idiot. Didn't work out for him. He's actually lost ground on the yank.
Savso! Oh,
So
Savso and Yonti!
Oh, hello.
Oh, Yenob's actually just managed to benefit from both of that, and so has JC. They both just lapped that up. I mean, Savso and Yonti went side by side. They got stuck on each other through turn 4-5, and that was a very wide open door for Yenab and just chilling, just slide down there. But Yonti's still here. He still wants a piece of this Ferrari action. He just can't get past him. Savso really throwing the defensive on. Here comes Dennis. Look at this. On the back of the house drive, he has to back out. But that might have been a little bit of a mistake there for him, potentially. If he could have applied a little bit of pressure to Yonti and potentially caused him to have a mistake through Ascari, he could have gained that position for free.
I mean, there's no, in the Dennis' position, there's no reason you can't overtake the guy in front, because you're still going to get DRS from the guy in front of that. So sometimes it's worth just going for it in these situations where you've got a nice long train coming off Ascari. You get a chance, just go for it. Don't sit and wait. You don't know when these chances are going to reappear. Especially in one of these trains like this, the chance you get an overtake requires people to make mistakes. And, I mean, Dennis is going to go for one. I think this is a mistake. And it's definitely not working for him. He's going to compromise his line a little bit.
Yeah. And wear his tyres. That's the key thing. Beaker's actually managed to get past Get Earned, so he's up to P16 now, trying to close in towards Copy as well. Get Earned is very much fighting a Ferrari off as well. This is starting to get very hot on the field right now. Dennis still here behind Yonti, still in with a shot, potentially gaining P13 later in this race. But I mean, you know, outside of the top 10 is basically nothing. You don't want to be there. You need to be up at the front as Camille and Nicholas have swapped places. I don't know if Nicholas has just lost pace or something. Every time I look away from him, something goes wrong for him. He's struggling today. But I mean, I say struggling. He's absolutely smashing it. But at the same time, I'm seeing inconsistencies.
Yeah. You speak about hot earlier. I think it's getting hot are these tyres. They are coming towards the end of their stint. A lot of drivers sitting around the 40% mark on their rear tyres, so they're going to want to get rid of these probably the next couple of laps, I would thought. Maybe this lap, maybe the lap after. As I say that, I see someone going in the pits. Thank you for that.
Yep,
so it's good timing.
Is he going to have a wing replacement as well? I mean, he surely has to, because he's got a very broken left end plate. Yes, he is. So this will hold him back, and he will fall to the back anyway.
He tanked his rears, 58% on that rear left.
Ooh. He did well to make him go that far.
Yeah, well, he could push it another lap, but with no front wing, you kind of just want to get that pit stop out of the way with. And now look, there's no one around him getting in his way. He can just go for some race pace laps, worry about where you're going to finish later. It's the least of your worries at this stage. You just got to get to the end of the race in his position.
Yeah, indeed. Sector 2 yellow flag. Who's that? Danica? Oh, dear.
There's damage as well. Big front left. I say big, there is no front left.
That's not good at all. Yep, you can see it. I mean, there's an element there, or two. But yeah, still falling down the order. He's down to P19 now. Yes, he will fall even further when he does eventually get into the pits. It's now a question of how Zones is going to manage this going through to the rest of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's not the only one on field with damage. I've just seen Get Owned is missing 25% front left.
Ooh. Nicholas is in. Nicholas is in. Does this fit with your strategy?
This is around when I'm expecting people to pit, yes. This lap or next is my prediction.
Now, also keep an eye on Yenab. He's P6 right now, obviously with these guys tricking themselves in the pits as well. But he's on medium tyres, right? So he's going to go on the softs later. His car will be much lighter. He'll be able to take the softs a little bit further than these guys have done so far on their softs. I think Yenab is the man who can actually get a huge amount of points for his team today.
Yeah, he's doing well. He was P10 before the pit stop started on those mediums, so he's had a good opening stint. And I'm keeping my eyes on Crow though. Where's he going to end up after this? I fully expect to see the remaining of these drivers pit this lap coming round, and we'll see how the undercut has worked out for Crow. Runs a little bit wide there. I think that's where he's making a lot of mistakes. That turn.
Is that Zones? Yeah, Zones and Dennis, they've actually had a come in together. I don't know exactly what's happened, but no end plates on either side of Zones' car, and Dennis has huge wing damage. How do you lose it there in turn 3 of all places? That's crazy, but Dennis's wing is very much in bits. He is P18, he's even cut that corner because he can't turn in, and he's going to lose out massively now.
Yeah, I just wonder if they tangled. One of them didn't get the best drive off. Turn 2, Zones is struggling with that wing as well. Could have just struggled to come off turn 2. Zones saw an overtake, went for it, or vice versa, through the Curva Grande, and that's what's ruined it for him. And these are the pit stops happening now as we speak. Where's Crow?
He's actually coming down the home straight. Look at this. He's actually in a really good place. He's going to be right past him and straight into net race lead. So this is great for Nicholas, although his ERS usage is not so great, and that is concern because Infamous is more than double what Nicholas has in his battery. It's now a request, I guess, to Camille to close in now on Infamous to find a way to break into their DRS zone so he can help Nicholas later on in this race. But right now, Camille is not anywhere near the fight.
Yeah, Crow needs to ease off the gas a little bit, back up Infamous so his teammate can get the DRS. It's nearly working actually. Infamous is closing up. He's just going to miss it here though. He's going to be about a 10th out. And not going to be good news for Crow because Infamous will be on DRS. They don't normally go for an overtake here, but they are not going to obviously. Very rare you see an overtake going to there in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah. I mean, Nicholas is also, he's going to sit in mode 0 because he knows, right? This is a mind game bit, right? Anybody who's not very experienced in racing and leagues will know, oh, I can go for an overtake here, and that's fine. But then the person who does have the experience will know, I don't actually need to deploy any ERS here. I can just sit in the toe because the home straight is the most important bit when it comes to the overtake. You need that DRS, and you're going to see Infamous go for a send here right past Nicholas as Copy and Beaker have also swapped places. And there we go. It's Infamous back into net race lead, but Camille is now within DRS range of this battle for net P1. So he can start to help working with his teammate.
Yeah, but look at Camille's ERS. 10% left.
Yeah.
Already. He's tanked it that last lap to try and get to this position. He's got here, and now he's got to stick it in 0 for as long as he can to just recover as much as possible as penalties starting firing thick and fast. I do have penalties on my screen, so I can give you updates as and when. I suggest we wait till the mediums are pitted.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. JC's managed to slip down the inside of Safso through turn 4. A very simple overtake for him. Safso gave him ample amounts of space and didn't try to defend it because he's just trying to play the long game right now. And if he could sit with JC, you know, this would be great for him. But Safso has a lot of battery to use. He needs to deploy it in order to close into the battles further ahead and in with a chance of getting some points. Hypers and Presschneider, they are P4 and P5 when you take all the pit stops of the guys ahead that are on mediums into effect. But yeah, I mean, he's still much further down than we expected. 3.6 seconds separates Camille and Presschneider. And that is concerning. Copy and Beaker swapping places yet again. Copy seems to have, Beaker seems to have way less wing than Copy, because he seems to just breeze past him way more than the others are doing. So I don't know if Copy's necessarily gone for a better Sector 2 than he has 1 and 3, but it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, well, it's all for now. To the end of the day, we're going to have pit stops for these guys, probably in the very late teens. So 18 and 19, I suspect we'll see these mediums stopping. Go for that sprint on the softs, see what you can get. I think our eyes are going to be firmly watching Yenab, where he comes out after his stop. He is the front runner of these mediums, and he's going to hope he'll come out in the sort of the region of those 2 bananas, also known as Renaults. That's where he's going to be aiming. Whether or not it's going to be achievable is Gaond is dropping like a stone.
Yeah, he has to. He's on the all the mediums, and the net P1 and P2 are just sliding by with DRS. But Camille has actually been stuck behind him. He realizes I have to get past right now, because if I don't, I'm going to lose this train again, and I can't really burn ERS like I did earlier because I just don't have enough to be able to work it through. Try and find the inside line. Gaond is holding him right, and I think that's more than fair. Camille will actually get a better run, but he has no tow. He has no additional tow to help him through. He is asking Nicholas, please go as far right as you can. And Nicholas is abiding it. You can see it very clearly, and that's worked. Camille is now ahead. He will actually be able to fight this. Or is he? Because Gaond is actually there, and big lock up there from the right side of Camille means he goes into Gaond, and that's it.
That was not lock up. That was a crash.
Who instigated it? Because it looked like it was Camille that locked up and went into the side of Gaond.
Wheels on wheels. That caused the smoke, I believe. I don't believe it was lock up. I could be wrong. But yeah, that was very good play for the Racing Points. They are in good communication here today, giving that very, very important tone when it was needed to Camille, just to get him past. He was going to get close, but as you can see by the breaking point, he was not going to get past.
No.
But again, now he's going to have to burn some
air. Oh, Tom! What a line he's going through into Ascari. That was a very ambitious overtake, and I can see exactly why he tried it, but that was so hard. He ended up going on the grass, and his rears are cooked. He is very hot on the rears. You can see on the dash, actually. They're over 100 and a bit degrees. He's brought them back down to temperature again, but then now he's lost 2 places to these guys. Obviously, these are net P1, P2, but he can use this tow now. The 3-car width of tow to bring himself down the home straight quite nicely. He should also be in with a chance of getting right back onto Buemos, providing his exit is clean, but he does have to worry about Camille. He's chosen to go defensively to stop Camille from going for the send. Camille will still go for it anyway and will get it quite simply, and Tom will just filter in behind and work on closing in quicker.
Buemos is getting involved with the front runners here. He's not letting him go easy. I think there's a bit of contact there from him. But back to Tom, I don't think he was defending. I think he was trying to get out of the way. Camille wanted to get the tow for as long as possible, so it looked more like a defensive move. And Camille is now up to P6 and still keeping tabs on his teammate. I suspect we are going to have a very spicy end to this race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're literally now halfway through. And it is only going to get better from this moment forward as the tyres start to come into this. Is Yenab that we're wanting to watch more than anybody, because remember, this guy started on the mediums, will go onto the softs, and will actually probably be, as it stands, the fastest car on the circuit when he starts to get all the times in. Beaker is pretty quick as well. Copy and Beaker have actually swapped places, but Beaker's lost out. Oh, he's losing. He's letting the faster runners go through. This is actually going to benefit him quite nicely, actually.
Looked more like a mistake from Beaker. Oh, that was a mistake, that's for sure.
Yeah, you nailed that one on the head. Tom actually getting his back end out as well, going through Parabolica. He's got a very wily one. Yeah, Beaker's in.
Front wing damage for him. He's gonna go for it, isn't he?
Well, softs from here? Yeah, he will, 100%.
He has to, because there's no other reason to pit this early with a damage front
wing. There
it is.
He's
not even replacing the front wing.
He's just coming in then. That's... Maybe he told it to go for repair, but I don't know, maybe the game just didn't. I have heard that happens a few times, but, you know, he's on the softs regardless. Here comes Tom on Buemos. This is another attack, but this time he's through turn 4, and I think he's actually going to get the one done. I don't think Buemos can stick it out. Buemos has gone deep. I think he actually had a bit of contact between them, and that's setting Buemos off the circuit. He's got a time penalty. I imagine that will be going to the stewards. Whether or not it'll be removed or not is obviously a different story, but we'll see about that later. But we do have 2 more of the contenders coming up behind who should have been up at the front of the grid, but they haven't. They've had something go seriously wrong in this race. They're now stuck behind Wemmels and Tom, and that gap is just only extending as Copy is separating them. Copy with a big lock up on the rear left, and that's actually allowing Nicholas to go round through Ascari. Copy's been sent out wide, and he's gone into the wall. Copy is out. Oh, and I think that one might be going very firmly to the stewards. Safety car is out. Now watch these boys that are on the mediums at the front. This is going to be perfect for them. Yeah, everybody will go in. Everyone will go in. Yenab's going to gain so much here. Yep, they're in. Yenab's in. Infamous is in. Nicholas is in. Alfa Romeo, you need to go and buy yourselves a big lottery ticket.
Camille is going to get screwed big time.
Yep. Yes, he is. I mean, that double stack right now is not looking good for him, let's be honest.
Oh dear. Behind Hypers, behind Presnida. Is he... Where's he going to come out after all this?
Wait, so Yenab went on hards.
That's a mistake. He obviously doesn't think he can do it on softs from here.
That is a big mistake. Either, this is one of two things. This is either one of two things. Either this is the biggest brain play I have ever seen from a Formula 1 driver ever.
Or the smallest brain play from a driver.
The biggest mistake a Formula 1 driver has made when it's come to strategy. I think even Ferrari would be like, damn, that's dumb. If this goes wrong.
Well, the thing is, we can go into mediums, but he just have to pit again anyway. And he's obviously looked at this and gone, can't get to the end on softs. I can't go onto mediums. I need to pit to get the pit stop out of the way with at this point. What do I do? He's gone for it. He's gone for hards because he's left with no other option in his eyes. Look at everyone else. He's now going, I've made a big mistake here. I've made a huge mistake.
I'm interested to hear from the Alfa Romeo race engineer if this was intentional or not. Did Yenab decide this? Was it a race engineer decision, or was it a mistake the game made? I think this is a big mistake, personally. I think even if the softs can't quite make it to the end, the only way these hards actually benefit from these softs not making it is if they actually puncture. If the times are slow, the hards are going to be slower. And it's just not going to work. Is he going to chuck it into the pits and go softs? I mean, he wants to. He knows he wants to. He is right now in his cockpit just like, I am in so much trouble. I have no answer to this. Yolta and Safso still up in P1, P2. They are on the medium tyres that they have chosen to come on a little bit earlier than everyone else decided to. And everyone else chucked in brand spanking new softs. Oh, this has really changed things up. And now this has also allowed Nicholas to fully recharge his battery. It's allowed, obviously, Infamous to do the same. But yeah, this has not benefited Hypers or Presnida at all. This has not helped them at all. Other than breaking that gap down, it's actually really crippled Presnida. Look how far down he is now in comparison.
Well, yeah, Camille's lost out as well. Look at Tom and Ronald. They're 6th and 7th in all honesty, a little unknown area, especially for Tom, who started at the back. He's up in P7. He's got a chance of getting some points. He's got to have a real battle in his hands to even just get one, I suspect, but it's going to be fun to watch. For Ceci time, the Alfa Romeo, Jeff has checked in and gone, this was not the plan.
Definitely. Yeah, he says he agrees himself. Pitting was absolutely the right call, but the tire choice, not to plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No safety car coming in this lap, so quick penalty rundown for you to make things a bit more interesting going forward. Safso has 3 seconds. Bommels has 6. Tom has 3. 3 seconds for JC and 3 seconds for Zones and Dennis. So a lot of people are penalty free as it stands. But 10 laps to go. So much pressure is now suddenly going to be mounting on these guys' shoulders. You're going to have another lap of the safety car, and now it is Yenab's made a mistake. If the safety car was out for 1 lap, you could say otherwise, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, even then, I still think the softs could have easily gone to the end and not even had to worry about it. I think the lap times would have reduced quite drastically. Yes, I agree with that. In terms of puncture territory, I don't think we're anywhere near that right now towards the end of this Grand Prix. I think Yenab honestly cuts his losses, goes on the softs, goes to the back of the grid, and just see what he can do to close in. Ultimately, this race is, unless he can defend, but this is an easy circuit to pass. That's my thoughts. Yenab now has basically ended his entire race. He was my driver to watch. Started on the mediums, absolutely nailed it, climbed so many places, lost out as a result to switch into the hards. And now he's going to just finish. I don't even think he's going to finish in the points. That's how much he's done himself in here.
Yeah, it's going to be a real battle for him to even get a point. It's just I don't know, is he going to come in this lap and change over, realise he's made a mistake? If the safety car can come in, I think he should come in this lap. He'll have a chance of getting close. He might not catch the back of the train, but he'll definitely get close before we start. But he'll have the freshest tyres of anyone on the grid. That's the only thing he'll gain out of this. Safety car decision will be taken any second now. It is not coming in.
No, it is there, yeah.
It's
okay. Yolta will control the restart. Safso will follow him through, and Nicholas, I mean, that will more than likely be removed later when it goes to the stewards, because you can't gain time. And there goes JC as well. I imagine they're both going to get the same thing removed. So, yes, they've got it, and yes, they will fall down the order later when it comes to the end of the race. However, don't count them out. The penalties will more than likely be removed. The incident between Nicholas Longate and Copy on lap 15 will also be investigated after the race. So stay tuned for that. We'll see what the stewards decide. It'll be tomorrow, I believe. That was close. Yenab almost goes into the back of Yolta. Yolta's decided it's time to go, and actually look at this. The gap that Yolta's built up already is tremendous. Yenab's actually trying to fire one alongside Sav, so they're actually drag racing towards turn 1. Nicholas Longay is in trouble because Infamous is there alongside of him, but I think Yenab is actually going to be losing out here. I don't think he can, well, I say losing out. He started P3 at the beginning of the restart, and he's staying P3 at the end of the restart. Oh, Safso, no, that's a mistake made, and that's immediately 2 places lost. He's going to lose another one as here comes Infamous. Buemos is coming through here. Now it's Nicholas Longay going around the outside here of Yenab through turn 3, and I think he's locked that one in. Yes, he has. Into turn 4 he goes, and up to P2. And now, crucially, he has a car separating him and Infamous. This is Nicholas' time to run away, although Yenab is now...
Big incident behind. We've got about 6-7 cars involved in this. I don't know how many wings have been lost. Big,
Tom looks like he's one of them. Yep, left end plate gone for him.
I have no idea what's happened there.
Oh, Camille, look at Camille, he's stuck! Oh, this game's so close between them! Beaker, some idiot on either side of him. Camille stuck his car down the middle of him. We've got another safety car. Oh, Yenab, your race has just been rescued, my friend. You are so lucky the safety car has come out. This time, get in. This time, get the right tyres on. But that was scary.
He's going to come in, though.
He should come in. He absolutely needs to come in. He has to.
He will not drop to the back there because there'll be a lot of cars pissing for front nose changes here.
Yeah. I don't actually know what caused the safety car. I think maybe just the amount... Oh, he's not coming in. Yeah, Nab, what are you doing? This is a mistake, mate. You need to be in the pits. But look at the pits light up. Look at this. Everyone's in. And the bottom half of the grid almost. I am actually speechless. I have no words. This is crazy. 7 laps to go. We'll probably have 22 laps done when we get the safety car back in again. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. Safso has also had a little bit of a lifeline chucked to him because he had a mistake made. But his tyres are pretty hot already. Look at that. 10 laps in on the mediums. Yolta, can I just say, had a brilliant restart. He took off and he has to do it again. But this time, it's Nicholas Longay chasing him.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? But, I mean, if he does the same and nails it, he'll keep that lead. How much has he got left, though, in terms of his tyres? They're 11 laps old. He's done a restart, which is pretty burnt a bit of rubber off, just trying to get that power down as quickly as he could. I can't tell you. I can see his percentage. I will not tell you what his percentage is, because that will give away the game. But they're sitting okay. That's all I'll say.
The driver of the day voting has now been opened, so get exclamation mark vote in the chat if you would like to submit your vote for who the driver of the day is. Click the link, fill out the form, submit your vote, and we'll look forward to voting, celebrating Dennis's driver of the day victory again for the 3rd week in a row, because you lot are meme lords. Tom getting a 5-second penalty for corner cutting.
Realise what driver of the day actually means. But,
it's not personality of the day, it's driver of the day.
Driver of the day's the safety car. He's led for most laps.
Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely the case. No, he won't pit. He won't pit now.
No,
he knows his hards are going to be fine to the end. But I think he was also worried that if he pits now, he was going to lose a load of positions. But I don't think he quite understood just how much damage had been caused as part of that massive pileup. All those front wings missing meant that so many people had to go into the pits. And you can see, just look, from P13 onwards, all those people had to go into the pits, chuck some new, a new set of rubber on, a new wing on there, and go again. Person to note in that list, Camille and Preschneider.
Yeah. Well, since our top 3 original prediction has gone out the window with a bit of wing, would you like to take a new top 3 prediction at this stage?
I actually think Infamous is going to take this. I mean, I don't want to... It's not that I don't believe in Nicholas. Infamous just looks so much more confident and comfortable on this circuit. Whenever Nicholas's ERS starts to run out, I don't know what happens. Every time I look away, something goes wrong for him, and then he drops down. And he loses time, loses pace, loses a position or two. Right now, he can't afford to do that. Yeah, he's going to be covered when it comes to Yenab and Safso, because Yenab's going to hold Safso back with those hard tyres, and that's if Safso can't get the move done early. But even if he can, he's got a fast Hypers behind him, and Safso being on worn mediums means that Hypers will just have a much easier time of it to get past him. Again, it just comes down to how well will this pan out. I think in the end, it will be Nicholas Infamous Hypers as the 1, 2, 3. Which is sad, because originally it was Racing Point 1-2, and they were looking so good to score huge points at the beginning of this race. And right now, the other Racing Point is outside of the points. But we do still have laps to go. There is still a chance for Camille to recover. But that's a lot of places to gain and not a lot of time to do it in.
So what's your 3?
Nicholas Infamous Hypers.
Okay.
You?
I think it's going to be similar sort of lines to that. Those are the 3 to be looking at. I don't think once we get going, Yelta might be able to hold on for the first lap. Those softs will start reeling him in and going past him quite quickly. I think those are the 3. Maybe Brownie can throw in a surprise. But yeah, you went for Nicholas Infamous Hypers, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh no, Infamous Nicholas Hypers.
Well, I'll go for... I think you're right. Nicholas seems to be losing it a bit, so I'm going for Infamous Hypers Nicholas. Last lap overtake.
Infamous Hypers Nicholas? Really?
Yes. Hypers for the last lap overtake.
Hypers would need to pass both of the drivers ahead of him in 1 lap. You know that, don't you?
And?
You think he can do that?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's a claim right there. I think the safety car will be in this lap when we start Sector 3. We'll see in a second. But my word, this race is really starting to heat up. And I don't know how this is going to pan out. And that's one of the things I love about racing, right? Is you have no idea what's going to happen next until it happens. And even then, you're still like, I still don't know what's going to happen next, because anything can happen in league racing. Safety car is in this lap. So Yolta, who did he's just got a 10-second time penalty. There's going to be a lot of these getting removed, I think, later. Stewards, I hope you're ready for this. But yeah, Yelta did have a brilliant restart the last time the safety car went in. Now he's going to have to do it all over again. But this time he's got very different drivers behind him. He has Quick Boy Nicholas, Quick Boy Infamous, and Quick Boy Yenab and Safso. But these are not going to be that quick because they're on the harder tyre. Because Yenab made a mistake, and I'm very sad for him. Because he was, honestly, I think he would have finished P4 had he not gone to the hard tyres. If he'd have gone softs, that was his. He was easily P4. But Yolta's gone. Here we go. Nicholas is already with him. So Yolta's not quite got as good a restart as he wanted before. And Nicholas is already trying to attack Yolta in towards turn 1. 1. Yolta's got the inside line. He's moved over to the left to allow Nicholas to get the inside. Here comes Infamous as well. Is he going to go for a send? He's going to be late if he does. Oh, he almost goes into the side of Yolta. Yolta's had a big back end tail slap out, and Nicholas is gone. He's running away. Where's Yanab? He's right here too. He actually could get Yolta as well. Yolta may actually lose out 2 places here. Infamous, Safso, and Yenab were so much faster than these boys, but Yolta will be able to hold out at least for a few corners. Some idiot getting a big penalty there as well. Yenab is trying to pass into Yolta. The defense from Yolta was so strong.
He wants this place. He's on hard tyres. He realises he's messed up. He needs to get past. Yolta's tyres are obviously screaming at him.
Oh, there goes Hypers. Oh, Brownie getting caught on the side of Safso as well. That was a very big wobble there for Brownie. Yeah, 2 cars have got past Safso, but that's not saying anything. Brownie's gone deep into Ascari. He might actually lose out quite drastically. A big shot there. Get On has been hit. Samidia's gone off track as well. He's got Tom got a penalty, but look at all these cars tearing past Samidia. He's losing even more places. Preshnaider's coming for it as well. Samidia, who was right up there in P7, falls right the way down to P17. That is crazy. 10 places lost in 1 corner. And look how stacked this is. This is getting even more exciting as Beaker and Just Chilling have swapped places too. Beaker, he's on a mission. Watch him tearing down the home straight. Straight past JC through Parabolica. Past Get On as well in the lead up towards turn 1. You've got Camille and Yonti going side by side, and Beaker's trying to find a gap. He cannot find it. There's a little bit of a kiss there, and that's actually allowed Get On to get back through again. Big damage on the left hand side of Beaker. Beaker's been rotated. He is so upset, and he was going so well for him, and it all went wrong.
Yellow in sector 1, that is Beaker pausing said yellow. I was going to say it, but I feel I've mentally jinxed him that Beaker loves this track. I don't think he loves it anymore. It's a love-hate relationship.
Oh, there's also mistakes made as well. That was Get On who made a big wobble. That's actually scared a lot. Oh no, JC's been caught in the crossfire. Samidia got caught up on Get On. He lost control of the car. JC ran into the back of him, and that's 2 drivers that have just been hammered away here. Hyper's on the back of Yolta, along with Yenab ahead of him, and this is going to be a scrap for P3 for now. But look at the gap. Look at the gap between Nicholas and Infamous and the rest of the grid. It's a 1.8 second gap between Infamous and Nicholas, and it's a 3.6 between P2 and P3. The hard's really not working for Yenab right now.
Well, you say that, but he's keeping the guys behind him. They are working for him in that sense. I don't think my prediction's going to be working, because I can't see Hype's getting P2 here. He might get P3 though. He's really got to find it though on this lap. Getting pressure from Safso from behind. Safso has a bunch of penalties to his name. A whole 6 seconds so far as Beaker has retired, along with the speeding and pit lane penalty. No surprise there then.
Yeah. He'll be very frustrated for that, that's for sure. Safso's actually sizing Hypers up. Who'd have thought you'd have seen this one? But he's going down through turn 4. He's going to have to take the outside line, and I think he's going to lose it. Yes, he is. I think he backed out more than lost it, if I'm being honest. Brownie's going to respond quite quickly, though, and he's going to slip through and take P6 away from Safso. But that was so good to see Safso getting his elbows out, getting aggressive, taking places from the likes of Hypers, who's now pushing Yolta, going for the DRS overtake. I don't think we're going to be seeing a hold back there from Yolta. No, he's not. He's just going to fall in behind. But I think now your prediction for Hypers taking Nicholas, I think, has been put in the bin. And I think Nicholas has shut both of us up because he's going to look at, well, at the minute, it looks like he's going to finish P1. Yeah,
DRS has been enabled already, so it doesn't really matter if Infamous isn't close enough to take advantage of it. Crow has this one locked and loaded. With 2 laps to go, I can't see him losing this unless he makes a big mistake. Back markers are nowhere near him. Presnyder is coming to the end of Sector 2. Yeah. We are not even in Sector 2 yet.
So Hypers has finally got past Yenab, and now Camille has got past Dennis. Now he's looking for a pass here on Safso, and credit to Camille. He's really recovered this race quite nicely. He's secured some points for his team at least, even if it is only a few as it stands, but he's already working his way towards the back of Safso. He has the remainder of this lap and the whole of the next in order to gain a couple of places. But right now, I don't think he can. That's a bit of a lock up there on the left-hand side, but he's kept it under control. He's not lost anything as a result, but the gap between Safso and Brownie has extended past a second, so no DRS available for Camille after he passes Safso.
Yeah. But in terms of penalty rundowns, we've got Nico and Yelto going to have a 10-second post-race, which we expect to be removed. I can't say will be removed, but we fully expect it to be removed. As it was behind a safety car, they don't really gain an advantage under a safety car. So we expect it to be removed. Other people got penalties to come in. Saf's got 6. Dennis also has 6. Tom has 6. Zones has 3. So we could see a little jump from Zones, so keep your eyes on him at the checkered flag. None for Danny on Yonti. Somebody has 3. Gahund has 0. 6 seconds for Bommels back there in 16th. And Brownie is going to make moves on his teammate here, is he? I'm not sure. They seem to be trying to go side by side, but...
Team orders is going to come in there. Yep, there it goes. We also have a little scrap between Tom, 97, and Saf, so they're going to go in side by side in towards turn 1. Wow, around the outside goes Tom. What a beautiful overtake there. Wow, Tom made that work so well. I mean, the grippier tyres will have obviously benefited him a lot, but he made that look so surgical.
I don't know where he's come from, in all honesty. He started this race at the very, very back. And he is performing a great result here to even be in the points. I don't suspect he'll get a drive there. That'll probably go to Dennis.
Yeah, as normal.
I think Dennis should just automatically be disqualified from it. But that's just good. But Brownie is on the rear of Yanap here. He's looking. This is the final lap. He's got to make the move on this corner. And he is. He's going to go for it. Is he going to hold it?
I think he's got it. Yes, oh, he's got it.
Great charge there for Brownie.
Indeed.
And he is going to get P4. I say he's going to get it, but Yanab is closing. All it takes is one mistake from Brownie into the final corner.
Nicholas Longuet will cross the line to take the win with Infamous in P2. Obviously, a penalty being applied to Nicholas due to the 10-second he got earlier. He will fall down quite far, but Hypers will move up. Brownie is up as well. Yanab is up too, but now we're starting to see everyone else filter in. So if you look outside of that, I think ultimately we need to wait for the stewards to really make a decision as to how that's going to pan out. But yeah, he managed to just hold some idiot back, hold down P10, did Sounds. Very well done for him.
He will lose that, though.
Yeah.
Because Yelta has a 10-second that would be expected to get removed, so he'll jump up.
Yeah, ultimately this is all provisional. Yes, they are finished how they are right now, but when we get to the steward's office and the verdicts are in, I think we may be seeing a fair few position swap around us. I think Nicholas will be back up at the top. I think he will take the race win overall, and it very well deserved in fairness. He absolutely smashed it, to be truthfully honest. We'll hear from I think we'll hear from the guys who cross P1, 2, and 3 across the line, because ultimately they're going to get their penalties removed. And I think we're probably best off to hear from them. So we'll do that. But that is your podium. It's a very well done job by Nicholas Longuet to get that win, despite the fact he's going to have the penalty applied. But as it goes for provisional, it's Infamous, Hypers, Brownie, 1, 2, and 3. Yenab P4, Nicholas Longuet P5, Camille P6, Danico P7, Geton P8. I will read that in a second. Tom P9, Zones P10, Submit Again, Best of the Rest, then Safzo, Dennis, Yonti, Yolta, Buemels, Just Chillin', Preschneider, Beaker, and then Copy. So, the reason for the ooze was because I've just seen who won Driver of the Day. It's actually a tie between Nicholas Longuet and Yolta. They both drove very well. Take the penalty out of the equation. Yolta's only got that 1 10-second penalty. You take it out and he will jump right back up the field. Obviously, the safety cars bunched him up quite nicely, meant that he will recover quite nicely too. Nicholas also has a 10-second that he's going to get that removed too. He will be right back up at the top step. So in terms of interviews, we are going to hear from Nicholas, Infamous, and Hypers for the interviews. Let's go to do that right now, shall we? All right, let's start with P3, which was Hypers. Let's get him in here. And he's not going to know we're moving him. Hypers, hello. Tomek?
Oh, I have pushed to talk again. Hello.
Hello. Well done. I mean, obviously, provisionally, you've got P2. Realistically, when Nicholas's penalty is removed, you will fall to P3. But still, a solid podium position. But I do need to ask qualifying. Normally, you are the type of guy who's usually up there in the top 3. You looked very off today in your qualifying. What was wrong?
I'm not exactly sure what went wrong, but yeah, the first run wasn't. It was like the bunker you would expect, and then the other 2 runs I just messed up pretty much. On the I completely screwed my turn 1. I was like 3 tenths off, and at this point I knew it was over. I managed to gain all of that time back, but it wasn't. So I guess with a good one, I could have been up there with the Racing Point. But yeah, I had the same thing in AOR a couple of weeks ago, and I still recovered to a good position. So I was pretty positive going into the race. And in the race, you know, the start was okay, but then I fought with Preschneider. I'm not sure whether it was netcode, but I just got pushed into the gravel in the chicane, lost many positions, but I just had to push. Got back to a good position, tried an undercut, and yeah, the safety cars just made my life way easier. And of course, I lose a lot of points to Nicholas in championship. The gap has decreased to like barely over 30 points now, I guess. So it's just, you know, this race, it could have been way worse without the safety cars. I think P5 was like a position I could have been in, but thanks to the safety car, I managed to recover to P3. And you know what? I'm gonna take it after what this race was. I didn't feel like I drove well at any point of the race.
I mean, it was an exciting race to say the least. I'll tell you that now. Obviously, my vocal cords got destroyed as always, you know, from seeing it. And there was some insane moves. But yeah, you did really well to recover, especially considering when you first pit, you dropped very far down the order and got stuck in a bit of traffic you definitely didn't want to be involved in. Now, next week, let's talk next week. We've talked about it right now. We know where you got. That's cool. That's brilliant. But next week, Singapore. Do you have the goods to deliver? Push to talk, Hypers.
This is one of the this is one of the tracks, like one of my quickest tracks. I still hold the world record there, so I'm looking forward to it. But it's one of those tracks where it's literally one-shot qualifying on the medium, and it's up. Who can put the. Usually when you have qualifying, you have 3 runs. There you have 1 run. It's literally one-shot qualifying, so anything can happen. But roll pace-wise, I'm looking forward.
Give me a prediction for your race finish next week.
I'm supposed to give a prediction for next week.
Yeah, this is the bit where you basically lay down the gauntlet to the other drivers and make them all quake in fear about how good you're going to do.
So it's gonna be. I don't want to put myself in first because that's gonna be very selfish, right? But
isn't that the point of racing? There it is. Oh, all right.
And then I think Nicholas is gonna come P2, and I think Camille's gonna come P4. The racing points are gonna be up there.
I mean, now it's gonna be spot. I'm looking. All right, the gauntlet has been laid. But anyway, Hypers, congratulations on provisional P2, but net P3. Very well done on your race recovery, and I'm looking forward to seeing you win next week. All right, now let's get Infamous in here, who finished P1 net provisionally. P2 when penalty is removed. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all, thank you. I'm just going to move this fine fella back out. There we go. Now, provisional P1 until obviously the penalty gets removed for Nicholas, which is probably going to happen considering it was under safety car. But still, a really solid race. For the majority, it actually looked like you were pretty much down to win this. You looked so in control of the race, and Nicholas making some mistakes like for the first half of the race. You must have felt confident.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I think the guys in front were running slightly lower rear wing or something because as the stint went on, it was getting easier and easier to stay with them. I think more mistakes were creeping in, and it was looking good going into the pit stops. Obviously, Nicholas got the undercut because the softs seriously die off at the end of the stint, and I had a terrible in lap anyway. But I was happy to sit behind him and save, and then the safety car just basically blew the race wide open for everyone. So that was a fun way to end it. But yeah, unfortunately, I got held behind Yeltek at the second safety car restart, so not much I could do to stay with Nicholas.
But regardless, it's still a huge win for Haas as a whole. You scored some very important points, especially for the constructors. And as the drivers, obviously, you're breaking closer towards Hypers. Yeah, Nicholas is obviously catching up as well. But this is actually starting to become quite a very tight Drivers' Championship and Constructors. But next week is Singapore. This is a very difficult track, as you know. How good are you at this?
I've only done 1 race at Singapore, and that was on Xbox. But I enjoyed it that time, so hopefully I'll enjoy it on PC even more. I do like the track, and it'll be something different because less slipstream trains and all that, hopefully. And maybe more safety cars to, throw a spanner in the works once again. So it should be interesting. But it'd be the dream to see all three of us, Hypers, myself, and Nicholas, go into the last few races, really close and have a really good battle towards the end. That's the dream, and I hope, all the viewers want to see that as well.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. I can guarantee you that. All right, I need a prediction from you going into the next race. Where are you going to finish?
I'm gonna win it, mate. Easy.
Oh, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Lay down the gauntlet. Hypers, I hope you heard that because he's coming for you. Brilliant. Thank you so much for the race tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. A solid P1, provisional, P2, and the penalties removed, but well done.
Cheers, man.
All right, let's get the man of the hour in then, I guess. Nicholas Longay. Let's hear how big his ego can be. Nicholas Longay.
Oh dear, hello.
Oh dear. And now, I know that you didn't finish in the top 3 because of the penalty, but realistically, the reason you're in the interview is because that's probably going to be removed if we're being truthfully honest. So, I want to talk first of all about your quali. Now, I know you said before the race that you weren't going to get the 17.7. I mean, you were pretty damn close to it, let's be honest, but I just want to understand, do you think you could have done better even with the amount of practice you put in for this race?
Do you mean better in terms of the whole thing or just in quali?
Just the quali.
Probably. I made a stupid mistake in the last sector, cost me about a tenth and a half. So the lap was pretty good until then, but I still managed to get a 17, which I wasn't expecting to at the beginning. So I'm pretty happy with that performance in the end.
Now, the race itself, the first half of the race, you were very hit and miss. You looked like you were the most dominant car on the field for the first half, and then there were points within there where you made some big mistakes, and at one point you actually lost 2 places because of one mistake. What happened? I didn't even see it.
Right, so this setup wasn't too good for a 50% race, not gonna lie. Me and Camille started struggling towards the second part of the first stint with the tire wear. As you saw, Infamous pulled away. So yeah, I did make some mistakes. I was struggling, but then when we got into mediums, the setup was much better. We got the pace back, and luckily, safety car came out, gave us a chance to go back to softs and finish the race with a flyer.
Well, let me tell you now, that race was very exciting. I think the fact that when the second half came out and you just seemed to just run away with it, and the gap was just far too large for Infamous to be able to do anything because of the fact that he got held up by Yalta, it just kind of dictates how quick you can be. But next week is Singapore. Now this, as far as I can remember, is traditionally not your best circuit, is it?
No, not at all. I never liked it. I never practiced it, so that's going to be interesting.
But I do want a prediction from you. But before you give me a prediction, I'm going to tell you what the other 2 predicted. Hyper said he thinks he's going to get P1, and he thinks that he's going to be there by a comfortable margin. Infamous is going for the win, for sure. Do you think you can contest it?
Okay, I'll give you my top 3.
Okay.
Infamous, me, Hypers.
Oh, oh! I would pay so much money to see that. You've no idea. Oh, all right, perfect. Well, brilliant. Well done on the race overall. You obviously, I imagine, secure P1 when the stewards have had touchy penalties, but we'll see what they do later. Obviously, they're not controlled by me in any way, shape, or form. They just do what they got to do. So, fingers crossed, it works out for you. Otherwise, it's going to be a very awkward interview, and I will see you next week for Singapore.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
But that's it for the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in Italy. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. Thank you, as always, Jamie. You are a lad for commentating with me, especially filling in at short notice. I really, really, really appreciate you for everything you do for me as well.